Hello and welcome back to Two Cups Between. I'm Jordan, here with Sam.
Hello.
Hi,
Welcome
Sam.
back.
How are you?
Oh, I am glad that it's the end of this week.
Mm-hmm. Very much that.
I feel like we keep saying our weeks are bad. This is like the third bad week. I don't know.
Yes,
It's
that would be
fine.
correct.
It's fine.
Everything's bad.
Well, everything's not bad, but once I get to the
That's
end
true.
of the week, I'm like, well, thank God.
Yeah,
That's
you're
over.
actually right. It's just, I think a little intense maybe is better. Like there's a lot going on. A lot of people have a lot of emotions and we are not immune to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we are also subject to that.
Oh,
Like,
Pisces season.
haha.
Yeah. It's funny. Mercury in Pisces feels like Mercury retrograde. It may as well
Mm-hmm.
be. Like, I feel like everyone's computers are breaking.
Mm-hmm.
All technology is just rebelling against us.
Pisces is like disconnect, okay, bitch.
It's like, oh, your
Get in tune
laptop
with
fell into the
yourself.
water, actually. Oops. So,
Oh my
deal with
god.
that.
Yeah, it's
And
been rough
then,
this week.
I mean, Saturn. Like, where do we even begin, Jordan?
Uh,
Perhaps with how our
we
week
don't.
was. How was
You
your
know what?
week?
I think my week overall was actually fine.
Uh-huh.
It's been quite an inspiring week, and like I feel like a lot of things happened this week that are set ups for bigger things
Mm-hmm.
later down the road.
Yes.
Very much that started, or a bunch of projects finally came into realization
Mm-hmm.
this week, became realized. How am I supposed to phrase that? I don't know.
Oh yeah, we released this podcast.
We did. We released this
We did
podcast
do
to the
that.
world this week,
Wild.
which is actually wild. And we've talked about it other places, but now we can actually talk about it here because it's relevant. But
Right.
like, this is a dream we've had for 3 years, over 3 years,
Oh yeah, you're
and
right.
it's
I'm
finally
like,
happened.
really?
I
Three
know, but I
years.
I think we started talking about this 3 years ago, and
Yeah.
we finally made it happen
When the
and have
pandemic was
released it.
still a baby.
A wee little
We're like, oh,
pandemic.
this would be something cute to do in this like short time that we're all gonna be inside, right?
Short. Yeah, but here we are. We finally made it happen, released it to the world.
Yeah.
Putting things out on the internet is very weird.
It was very scary.
It
It
feels a little
was
bit vulnerable.
scary.
It was scary. And like, even though, of course, all of our friends have been like, it's great. It's so fun to hear you two banter, whatever. It's still like very vulnerable
Uh-huh.
to have this be on the internet for anyone to hear. And like, uh,
I
I
know.
just feel like nervous all the
And when
time.
people talk about it, I like don't know how to react. I don't want them to think I don't like it, but I'm also like, you listen to me talk? Why?
Why would you do
Why?
that?
Yeah, yeah. Or like when people are like, I listened to that thing or I watched that thing, I'm like, what?
You
What do you
listened to
mean?
something I
Yeah,
recommended?
I was like, why? Why'd you do
Yeah.
that? But it's been really nice. It was super scary, especially the night before, and we are like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, let's edit all of this audio really quick. We're like, oh wait, there are these problems that we need to do right now.
Yeah.
Um,
We
and then
did
I
fix a
was,
lot of things the night before.
yeah, it's cool. It's
Re-uploaded
cool.
all
No
three
worries.
episodes
It was
in one
it
night.
was school project energy, but it was really fun. I wish we did school
Mm-hmm.
projects together. They would have turned out really nice.
I know.
And the work would have been a little more equally distributed. Okay,
No
that's all
kidding.
shade to everyone I've done a group project with ever.
Oh my god. Yeah,
um,
exactly.
but yeah, it was nice, and we released on my birthday,
We
so I was
did.
like, "This is cool." Can't
Happy
even
birthday,
process that.
Sam.
My birthday, thanks. I am 21. Oh, I'm just kidding. I really don't care. People have been making that joke of being like, "Oh, so it's your 21st." I'm like, "Ew, no! Like I was a fucking wreck when I was 21. I don't need to pretend to be that again."
I do not want to go back there. Thank you very much.
Even though my 21st birthday was really fun. Do you remember my 21st birthday?
Yes, I do. That was the first birthday we spent together, bitch.
Yeah. That's hilarious. You drove me to the ocean and I acted a fool.
Yes. It was so fun.
That was really
We had
fun.
a great time. I loved it.
That was hilarious. I think we were drinking vodka with vitamin water. Because of course we were. Because we
not
were
me.
20
I was
years
the
old.
DD.
Yeah, not Jordan.
I was
Jordan
the
did not
20-year-old
drink
DD.
and drive.
It was so funny.
Yeah, that was really funny.
It was such a good time. It's
I'm
a very fond memory.
I'm glad we never did like the bar hopping thing. It's because most of our friends weren't 21 yet, so
very true.
So I was like, I don't really care. We don't have to do that.
Yeah.
We could just play board games and get drunk and then go to the beach.
Yep. Play board games, get drunk at home, go to the beach.
Yes.
Sick.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah, a lot of things. Another project I'd been working on with a friend happened this week.
Yes.
That was great. And it's going to continue. It's going to be a weekly thing, which is cool. So like that was all good, but there was so much pressure in other ways.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I completely rebranded my stream this week.
As one does.
Like, spur of the moment, decided I was going to change everything. That was fun, but also like, why did I do this to myself?
Yeah.
And I applied for a job this week and also interviewed this week. It is not a job that I really would like to have, but it is a job, and I need a 9-to-5 type job, a regular job. Even though, I would love to stream and make this podcast and make content as my job.
Right.
Like make things that I like as my job rather than subject myself to the whims of the man. The patriarchy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fully just on my knees for the man, apparently, of academia. So, I wish I could say the same, but I'm here. So,
yeah, it's just how it's got to be for a little bit,
right?
And Monday was both like the best day with the podcast releasing and your birthday, and then also like the worst day because at work, my babysitting job, which is hardly a job at this point, I was doing our usual Monday routine already, which is what we had discussed, like what I had discussed with one of the parents already. We do the same thing on Mondays all the time. It's no big deal. And then I get a text from the other parent that was like, hey, can you pick up the baby and be home with dinner ready by 5:30? They texted me this at, what time was that? Like 4:45.
Yeah, like less than an hour.
Yeah, when I live already 25 minutes away. So if I had not already been in their home like, doing our usual Monday routine, I wouldn't have just arrived there at 5:30. But you want me to have dinner on the table at 5:30. Got it.
When you told me this, I was like, whoa. Had my dinner ready at 5:30 when I get home.
Oh,
fuck
dude.
You, sir. Actually,
it was just like a really weirdly demeaning interaction to me.
Yeah.
Which I kind of have often with this parent. And like it's so weird because he doesn't mean to be like that, but the way he conducts himself is really disrespectful of my time and my position. Even though I've kept their family alive for 8 years.
You're allegedly a nanny.
Right.
You're babysitting. Right. All of the, like, you are not their butler.
Yeah.
Servant.
Well,
Okay.
I will say a nanny position, specifically if you're talking about a nanny, which is what my overall position is with them, does include like
Yes.
some cooking
Yes. I know.
and a little bit of cleaning, although I do not clean for them because they do not clean their house. So I'm
Oh
not doing
God, I
it.
know it's just so bad.
It's really bad.
That's why
They
they're
don't do
sick
it.
all the time.
It's well, that and they only bathe every other day. So
Oh, Jordan, Jordan, get out of there!
this is why I have to get a regular job. I have
Escape.
to be done.
I just like there's not like it is not it's still not like a nanny is still not a position where you're like have this done at 5:30.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just
Yeah.
it rubs me wholly the wrong way. Like you're not a millionaire with like help around the house.
Yeah.
Me at this parent. Like you're
Yeah.
you know, like you hired someone to help with your child care and some things around the house. It's like not the same thing. Like
Right.
you should be paid way more if that's going to be the if that's going to be the treatment, and you would probably like live with them.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, you know, I don't need to keep telling you. I lecture you about this all the time for years. So, for years I've told you like
I know.
please get out. And if that means having a rinky dink like silly job that you don't care about,
I
you know,
know.
I think it'll still be better for you.
Yeah, so my week was just like a little hard, a little bit capitalistic mindset had to be turned on this week in addition to a lot of creative things
Mm,
making me really happy. It just like I hate capitalism.
I know.
Which
It's
is this really like annoying thing to
very
say, you know.
Saturnian.
Yes, it was a really
Because
Saturn heavy
I
week for
mean,
me.
I'm sure you're already thinking of it this way. Is like this job that you don't care about is just a stepping stone to
Mm-hmm.
the things that you know that you've been wanting for a long
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
Um, like I definitely feel the same way about school.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love the system I'm in. It's not even like, oh, I'm sad because I have to study. Like, yeah, there's that, but it's like way more beyond that. Because in the
Right.
end, I do enjoy studying. It's hard for me to say
Yeah.
because the relationship with studying has been a
Yes.
wild one, but
Right.
it's only ruined by like the system of it and the standardized testing of it and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But like if I just got to sit and like learn, and which is what I do most of the time.
Right.
Most of the time I'm sitting in a round table discussing human anatomy and disease
Mm-hmm.
with peers and with like new medical doctors who are facilitating the conversation.
Right.
And if I could be present in that, it's very enjoyable actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild. You would think I'm like interested in this. It's like I forget.
You almost think that I like it.
But if the problem comes and like all of us do it and it's like part of the culture is like we can't be in that present moment of like, oh, I'm learning this like kind of cool stuff because
Yeah.
all we're thinking is like, well, how is this going to be asked on the exam?
Mm-hmm.
And like or like I don't know this well enough, which means I'm going to do bad on the exam. Like it's
Right.
always those running thoughts. And just like the structure and the time needed to feel comfortable enough to enjoy it again
Right.
is just like a really it's an ongoing battle, I think, that's
Mm-hmm.
really been highlighted this week because it's just been
Yeah.
so I mean everyone's just exhausted like you're
Right.
saying, and everyone's cranky.
Yes.
Understatement. Like everyone's very over it this week, and so many
Yes.
people in my group I skipped 2 days this week.
Yeah.
I literally said last week that I was like, I can't skip like that every week. And like I can afford to without failing, literally, like technically, but it's not good
Right.
for me to keep
Right.
skipping. But yeah, anyway, yeah, I agree. It's been rough this week, and like, oh, I need to be responsible now. It's almost as if my Saturn return's happening.
Yeah. I'm feeling it already. Like I'm
Oh,
already feeling a
absolutely.
lot of I don't know. Again, it was just such a creatively fulfilling week. And then I was like, oh, capitalism, reality. That
Yeah.
fucking sucks.
Well, and the whole point is like, hey, look at this creative stuff that you want to put out that you're doing, but you
Yeah,
need to balance it with all of these other obligations you have, like to be
exactly.
realistic. And I mean, we're
Ugh.
so lucky to have Saturn and Pisces to
Yes.
teach us that balance, because plenty of
Yes.
people wouldn't get that creative, fun part just because of their
Absolutely.
placements or just because of how they've established themselves
Mm-hmm.
in their career. It's very difficult to do that, to have that balance, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people in our generation are trying to do that. Like, I mean, we talk, there's so many articles about how people our age are balancing content creation with normal jobs to support themselves,
Right.
until they can transition to doing, one of them full time. But
Mm-hmm.
I also think there will be plenty of people who always do both of them.
Yes. Right.
um, so yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting tie. I think that's a nice tie-in with people in these placements.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to see. It's wild. It's wild to think about. So many people collectively going through that like natal transit together. That's like such a big
Yeah.
one.
Right. A lot of us are in fully in the same boat.
Yeah.
Like,
Someone tweeted that Justin Bieber is also having his Saturn return. I was like, I didn't even think of it like that.
yeah,
Like,
he's
yeah,
around our
you're right.
age.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just interesting, and I think celebrities will be a really good indicator of the
Yes.
the global Saturn Pisces
True.
Saturn return phase.
Yeah.
It'll be really interesting to see how it goes for them too.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
public it will their meltdowns be.
Yeah. Isn't Justin Bieber a Pisces sun too?
He might be.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, exactly. I need to see the public meltdowns happen. I'm like, oh, is that going on with me? Damn.
Right.
Because it's interesting because for the longest time celebrities are mostly older than, I mean, I guess other than child stars, but
Mm-hmm.
now a good portion of the celebrities are older, or sorry, our age and younger.
Right. Is
You
that
know what I
weird?
mean? Isn't that
Yeah.
kind of weird? I don't know how I
Okay. Yes. So Justin Bieber was born March 1st, 1994.
Oh yeah,
Right.
94.
About a year older than us. His wife, Hailey Bieber,
Oh
was born
god.
November 22nd, 1996, which feels weird, but she is younger than us. And like, they are a married couple.
Uh okay.
I'm just
Oh.
like weirded out.
Yeah, that's
People are married.
yeah,
The
people being
same age
married
as
was so
us.
cringy. Ew, being married. That's wild.
Oh my god. That's so
Um
funny.
can you imagine being like, this is my husband?
No, I can't, actually. I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to. Can I just be like, this is, and then just state their name and then
That's it.
yeah, I don't know. Do I have to say the rest?
Ooh, no. No, 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 no.
Husband.
Gross.
I'll say wife though, for sure, but
Yes. This is my wife, but that guy, ooh, I don't know about him.
I'm so much more okay with wife. Wow.
Ugh.
That says a lot. Okay, anyway. Um um my
Yeah.
week has been so long.
Anyway.
My week has been so long. I talked about I know I mentioned that I was doing all those fun social things last weekend.
Right.
And they were very interesting, but um socializing is so tiring
Yes.
even when it goes well.
Yes.
Isn't that weird? Me
Agreed.
realizing what introversion is. But I went on a boat ride. I saw dolphins, which is like not even
Dolphins.
like, that's super rare. I still can't believe it. Like, I look at the videos and I was like, I was there for that. I saw this.
3 feet from those
It
dolphins.
was really nice. And then I went to dinner with some people, like other new people, and engaged in
Mhm.
herbal activities with
Herbal
some people,
activities.
which was also unexpected. So it was just a weird, a weird, wild weekend. And then Sunday, I was just so tired. I was like, I haven't had this much fun at all in a long time, but I don't even know how to
Yeah.
process it. And then I was kind of just like, oh, now it's my birthday. Oh, now back to work. It was it was weird because I skipped class on Monday because it was my birthday. I wasn't really expecting to do that. I was kind of like, oh, I'll go to, whatever, I'll go to class. But because I was having so much fun watching your stream, I was like, Mom, but I want to hang. I want to hang
Oh
with my
my God.
friends. So I just decided to relax and
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So kind of prolonged my fun
Yeah.
weekend. It was also nice because like it was fun hanging out with the new people. Like I liked a lot of people. I met some upper termer med students who were also interested in public
Mm-hmm.
health. And that kind of was like eye opening, like, oh, maybe I should get more involved in like these groups and clubs, once I'm a little more settled into
Mm-hmm.
med school, so that I don't just surround myself with people that I don't think should be
Whoop,
doctors.
whoop, 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 whoop.
T. And just like, like have peers that are, have the same vested
Mm-hmm.
interest in
Right.
medicine. Like, I think it's just nice to have. And at the same time, I definitely found out like tea about people and not so great things about
Mm-hmm.
people. Because I just think when you are interacting with more people in an environment like this, you're going to get more of the drama
Yeah.
as well. So that was also interesting. So at the same time, I was a little like, okay, this is a little much for
Mm-hmm.
me as
Right.
well. Like, even though I'm just getting a taste
Mm-hmm.
of it, I was like, I don't really want to dive in and just socialize all the time because it would be
Yeah,
exhausting.
absolutely.
Um, so Monday was kind of my day to be like, let me hang out with my friends that I'm more comfortable
Yeah.
with, I guess.
Right.
So that was really nice. And then after that, it's just been a busy, busy week. And I've mostly been studying at night
Mm-hmm.
because I just have too much stuff during the day. For the next
Mm-hmm.
couple of weeks, it's hard to fit in studying. So that's just life. Just not sleeping enough or in a like normal pattern has been a
Mm-hmm.
theme that I'm not unfamiliar with. It's also a very Pisces season thing to just like when I'm sleeping, I'm traveling into
Mm-hmm.
dimensions. And when I'm awake, I feel like I'm sleepwalking.
Yes.
So that's been the
Oh,
vibes.
Pisces season.
So if people have been sleeping more, it's
It's
fine.
okay.
Because I think that's just like what's happening to everyone. Everyone I've spoken to has been like, oh, I've been sleeping more than usual, or I can't sleep at
Mm-hmm.
night and I just like need to sleep during the day. Literally so many
Yeah.
people. This is what I wanted to tell you
Oh my
about.
God.
Today, me and this girl in my like lecture group were talking about that. She was going through the same thing. She's a Pisces as
Uh-huh.
well,
Mm-hmm.
actually. And some guy came over and heard us talking about how like, oh yeah, it's like really hard for me to sleep at night. She was also mentioning like, oh, it's really hard for me to sleep before an
Mm-hmm.
exam. Even if I cut myself off from studying, I'll still like be up
Yeah.
and not sleep very well. And everyone was like, "Oh, that's really dangerous. Like you have to get good sleep
Blah
before an
blah
exam,
blah
blah blah blah."
blah
Like,
blah.
"Oh, I've never heard this advice before."
Right.
Wow, really? I should sleep before an exam?
Wow.
Tell me more. So this like dude broy guy,
Mm-hmm.
okay, was like sitting with us and being like, no, you gotta prioritize sleep. Like, have you tried going to bed early and waking up super early to study?
Shut the fuck up.
He was just getting on my nerves. Um,
God.
and essentially,
Oh, the way I would
he
have
like he
raged.
essentially,
Anyway.
I know. Well, I didn't rage because we had a
Mm-hmm.
facilitator there. The facilitators, I'll explain because they're not
Mm-hmm.
professors, but there are a lot of people who get their MDs outside of the states, and so they still have to take the step 1 and step
Mm-hmm.
2 exams to become MDs in
Right.
the states. So a lot of those people, so like they're freshly graduated from med
Mm-hmm.
schools elsewhere, and um, they kind of like take on this teaching job, kind of like a TA,
Right.
for a couple years to help them study for the USMLE or just to have something in between. So those are usually who are teaching us during like our lecture sessions, along with like a professor who's actually giving the lecture, and also in our like small groups and roundtables and stuff. So like they're not like professors and like super authoritarian, but we still have to be a little
Right.
professional around them. Like we can't be
Right.
awful, but we do swear, and you know it's a little casual. But this guy was here lecturing us about sleep like we're little babies. Okay. And whatever, he was just like, you gotta make like healthy choices. It's like
Shut
so important
up.
for your health. And I look at him, I was like, you're literally holding a vape in your hand, dude.
You know what else is good for your health? Not that.
Yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, make healthy I was mocking him, like, make healthy choices, and then I like imitated sucking out of a vape. And he was so
the petty.
He was so, and I mean, he was like getting up to leave anyway, but he was kind of like, oh, well, I mean, it doesn't affect my studying. He was like, it doesn't affect my studying or my like fitness or something.
What?
Like,
literally not true. What?
Oh, he said it doesn't affect my like fitness or sleep.
It affects both of those. Oh my god.
Yeah, and I was like, fuck off. Oops. And then the facilitator was laughing. He was laughing.
I'm glad he laughed because that's funny as fuck.
Yeah, he was chill. We had a chill guy
funny
today.
as fuck, dude. What?
Yeah.
Even?
I was like, oh yeah, make healthy choices. As he's holding a vape.
Good Lord,
in
shut
his
up.
hand. Are you joking?
Shut up.
Like, shut up. Shut up. Get out of my face.
I cannot. I hate it.
You would have hated it. And then, of course, everyone at my table was like, oh my god.
That's the only way people react to you, huh? Oh my god, Samantha, I can't believe you said that.
I can't believe you said that. I was like, well, I hope you were thinking it. Like, were you not?
Oh my god.
It's fine. I won't tell this story, but I did call someone out for saying that N-word. It was funny, but it was maybe not well timed. Although, when's a good time?
Better sooner rather than later. Time? And it's a necessary call out. Is that like
a private? Does that need to be a private
you should
conversation?
Call them out in front of everyone.
Comfortable?
Like, they should be shamed.
Like, let me make sure you're comfortable when I let you know that I heard you. Whatever.
Bruise your white ego. Oh my god.
Politics.
I cannot.
But still, I felt bad.
No.
I need to work on feeling less bad.
For anyone.
I didn't feel bad for this vaping guy. Like, fuck him,
off,
dude.
bro. Shut up.
Yeah, I guess we're a little irritated this week. I know I said like, oh, I'll be more empathetic. I'm still doing that, but other people have been.
It's been a little bit difficult actually to be empathetic with like everybody's really shitty behavior. I have to be honest.
Well, I think I'm very protective, you know, of like how people are being spoken to.
Yes.
Or just like how people's behavior is affecting others.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So maybe that's why like I'm like to them. So maybe that's it. Because now that I think about it, all these things that I've been getting like weirdly irritated about that people have said, it's because like I am protective of whoever they're insulting or like speaking out against. Even if it's small, seemingly small. I'm still just like, you can't say that. You're trash.
You can't say that. You're trash.
You're trash. Oops.
That's funny.
Anyway.
I love it. Oh my god.
Sorry in advance to anyone who has to experience that. Or just stop being trash.
Stop being trash. Oh god. I cannot. I'm like,
what else happened?
I don't know. I'm a little fed up with everybody's poor behavior. Like, it happened so many times this week, and I'm really over.
Yeah.
I'm just over it. Like, I don't want randos arguing with me in DMs. I don't like, if you're being
Oh no.
weird and someone tells you, "Hey, can you stop doing this thing?" That's like not
Mm.
good, and you're like, "Oh, I'm not doing that thing. It's fine." And you continue to
Oh.
do that thing that they've asked you not to
Oh.
do. I would prefer that you listen when someone is like, "Stop doing that," and not me have to get involved and then like call you out, and then you're upset with me and you're arguing with me in my DMs.
Yeah.
I don't have patience
Yeah.
for this. I don't have the time. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I think we need a little distance from each other. Everyone needs to just like go home, go under the covers,
Yes.
you know,
Yes, I do.
cry into your pillow about it. Get over yourself.
Please get over yourself.
Me
Same.
included.
No, same. Get over yourself, me
Yeah.
included. Like,
Me
I need to
at
chill.
me.
I've been extra irritable. So have other people, but like, I need to chill. I can get over it
Yeah,
and deal with it.
for sure. For sure.
I'm just
Yeah, a little sensitive, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Such as Pisces season. You said you love
I actually
Pisces
do love
season or
Pisces
something.
season. This has been a little bit of an extra tense one, I think, for some reason.
Uh-huh.
But
yeah, it's not this huge
no.
planet.
No. It's not huge transits. It's fine. But
No,
yeah,
it's
I'm
fine.
just like,
I'm sure the full moon also
yeah, this week with the full
was a
moon.
lot.
Oh no, dude.
I know, yeah. Well, hopefully that will chill out. But I was exhausted. I was like, get rid.
Yeah.
I mean, the moon was stunning though.
Oh, she was gorgeous.
But I was like, you're doing too much for me right now.
Everyone felt it this week, whether they knew it or not. Oh boy. But otherwise, it was a pretty good week.
Otherwise, it was fine. It was fine. Yeah.
Well, let's.
All things considered, it was fine. Like work wise, like I did the things.
Definitely.
I did stuff. Finished the stuff. Released the pod.
It's free.
I turned 28.
28. Go off.
I guess that's something. Yeah. Let me know how you feel when you turn 28. I don't feel that
I
different.
haven't felt different for like 10 years, okay?
So. You didn't feel 25? I feel like I felt something at 25.
No. That was mid-pandemic.
Oh, mine was like right before. So maybe I still had feelings. So I could feel that I was 25. Now it's like, I don't know.
I was dead
time?
Inside, so it's fine.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's pretty much what turning 25 felt like.
Okay, good point.
Oh my god. Should we move on to the upcoming astrology?
Yes, we should.
More things have to happen, apparently. We can't just have Saturn come into Pisces and then everything else stop.
Right.
For a second.
Everything continues moving and it's here to fuck up your day. Okay?
All right, let's talk about it. Shall we start? Oh, yes, I will talk about this. It's happening tomorrow. So technically on Saturday, Jupiter and Chiron will be conjunct.
Which is 2 days before the release of the podcast.
This. But I still think these feelings will be there, so that's why I think it's important to talk about. And honestly, I hadn't looked at this transit until recently. I saw someone tweet about it. So it kind of brought it to my attention. And apparently this conjunction only happens there's many ranges of years. So I've heard 12 years, 16 or 19. So essentially it's a rare conjunction.
Yes.
Chiron has been in Aries. It also kind of wobbles in and out. So it's hard to say. But like around 2018, 2019, Chiron has been in Aries. Chiron is known as like the wounded healer and kind of like brings to light our wounds that we need to like heal over time or kind of our battles that we face throughout our life, like big life lessons that are very internal to us.
Yes.
While Jupiter which rules Pisces and has been in Aries, I don't know, for a while, like since this year,
Mm-hmm.
or since last year, I suppose. It made its way into Aries. Jupiter is, we've talked about it before, it expands your thinking. It's very big picture, kind of takes you out, and is very wish fulfilling. It's very lucky
Right.
in a way.
Right.
It's kind of like, instead of incremental growth in your goals, it's kind of like, what's my purpose?
Yes.
What's the bigger purpose of all this?
Much more expansive than
man?
Saturn, which is detail oriented.
For sure. And very like, I mean, they're both slow moving planets, but
Yes.
I just think the way that Jupiter, like Jupiter's vibe is very like, I come into the room and it's all here at once.
Yeah.
While Saturn very much like creeps in. It's like, oh, fix this thing, fix that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Jupiter's like, let me show you everything, like the whole
Mm-hmm.
picture, and you'll understand like what you need to do. But it's a
Yes.
little abstract.
Right.
But either way, what I've read is that when Jupiter has a transit, especially like a conjunction, it'll expand whatever is happening with the other celestial body.
Mm-hmm.
So Chiron and Jupiter in Aries, to me, how I'm interpreting it is that, you know, we're having a lot of transits that are new beginnings,
Yes.
or just like new phases in our lives. We might be
Mm-hmm.
feeling like, oh, I really need to change up how I'm doing something, or change up my lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
or like focus on my health in this certain area, or whatever it is, like focus on new projects. But Chiron can kind of be telling us like, oh, well, why should you even start? Such a hater.
A little bit.
Like,
A little bit.
yeah, like, are you sure you can do that?
Yeah. The
You've never done that
insecurity will
before.
come creeping in with
Imposter
Chiron and
syndrome, like,
Aries.
on 1,000.
Yes.
So even if we've started the new projects, and I mean, this is so relevant for us, we've just
Right.
started a new project.
Mm-hmm.
But it might be that, you know, once we've started, then the doubt starts creeping in. Like, should I have done this? Like,
Right.
am I supposed to be doing this? Is
Mhm.
this fine?
Oh God.
Am I doing a bad job? And I just feel like that all the time when I start something. So I don't have
Yes.
the best relationship with starting new things.
Mm-hmm.
I keep doing new things. Like,
Yeah.
I keep going on and doing new stuff, but I think the whole time I kind of have to keep convincing myself that I'm doing a good job.
Yes. And as a Virgo, if I'm not doing something perfectly when I first start it, I don't want to do it at all. Right.
Oh,
So
no.
this hits like extra hard for me, where I have a hard time starting new things anyway because they're new and not in my
Yeah.
wheelhouse, most likely. So
Right.
I'm already out of my comfort zone trying to start something new.
This is also such like a gifted kid syndrome.
It really is. It very
I
much
hate
is.
that.
It's terrible. I'm just, you know, this is going to highlight this extra hard for me, I think, through this little transit, but I'm really going to have to do what you do and just take it day by day and remind myself that doing new things is how we learn, we grow, we expand, and how we reach our goals ultimately, right? Like, you can't, you know, reach these lofty goals that Jupiter presents us, or these, like, you can't find your purpose if you don't do anything new or expansive.
Right.
It's just hard.
And it's not necessarily going to make it hard to do the new things. Like, it's very supportive of these new changes.
Right.
But our mindset, like our internal monologue is going to be, or internal dialogue. Hello, I don't know.
Either way.
Dialogue. Sure, whatever.
There are two people in there. It's
the
fine.
things you say
Yes.
in your brain are really going to be like combating this energy of like new starts and new beginnings. Like, everything else is supporting it, but Chiron's kind of being like, but like, why?
Yes.
For what?
Yes. Oh my God.
And it's kind of our, you know, we're obligated to sit down and say like, no, this is really what I wanted. This fear is coming up because all of this is very new, and I'm trying to psych myself out and keep myself comfortable. You know, like in my old habits or in my old projects, I don't want to venture out because it's not as comfortable as just not moving at all.
Yes.
So it's kind of like working with that energy and reflecting on it. I think it would be a good time to like journal about it, or even like talk to a friend, a trusted friend.
Mm-hmm.
Because I find like I'm not someone, well, I mean, actually, tell me. I don't think I'm someone that is always constantly looking for validation,
No,
but
you're not.
sometimes when I'm really doubting stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I am kind of like, is this okay?
Right.
You know,
Yes.
like, is this like awful?
Right.
Like, should I post this? Is this like silly? Is this stupid? So I will do stuff like that. And the thing is, I have to trust that my friends aren't just being nice and saying that it's fine.
Right.
Because you'll be like, "Oh, this is funny," or "This is good," and I'll still be like, "Oh, Jordan's just saying that."
And like that's the thing though. You should really trust me and our other best friend because we'll tell you if it's not funny. You're just
Would
funny.
you?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You're just funny.
I was like, "You've never told me that it's not
No,
funny."
because you are funny.
Oh.
Or
Me
like,
realizing,
yeah,
oh.
you are funny. Or like you'll be like, "Is this bad?" No, it's really good. I would tell you if it was bad, but you're really good.
Would you?
You're really good.
I mean, I still don't. I'm sus. You would tell me if it's bad?
Right. Yeah, I would. Whatever
Oh,
you're
okay.
talking about, I would tell you if it was bad, but it's not. You don't really make bad things.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't
Prove me
show you
wrong.
if it's bad.
Okay then.
Yeah, I'm getting it now.
Anyway, this is the kind of conversation you should have with your friend right
Yes,
now.
this is the kind of conversation you should have with your friend.
That was a live
Um,
demonstration.
yeah, that was a really good one too. We did a really good job. Uh, but yeah, like if you have a trusted friend and you're like, hey, like I want you to be honest, and like if there's something, like if I'm making something you don't really get my idea, or if I'm not communicating it well, or it doesn't really sound logical, or whatever you think that you're having issues with, like
Hmm.
that's the thing. Chiron's going to highlight for you what it is specifically that you struggle with when starting something new.
Right.
Like for me, it's like the fear of doing it badly because I want
Yes.
to do it perfectly right away. Because
Same.
Virgo, my Chiron is in Virgo, so it might be whatever that is for you. I would look at your Chiron placement, and see where that's highlighting for you.
Hmm.
But yeah, with Chiron being in Aries for a few years, I think those doubts have been very loud for
Yes.
us. So just like sit down and really reflect on what those voices are saying, and then go to your trusted friend or whoever, parent, sibling, that you would trust to be honest with you and say like, hey, I really struggle with this critical voice in my head, but
Hmm.
like if I show you what I'm working on, or like something I'm thinking about doing, can you just like tell me what it sounds like objectively?
Right.
And kind of get that like outside help.
Hmm.
I think that would be really good.
I agree.
um so yeah, that's something I'm looking forward to. I mean, it's nice to learn about a new transit. I've never learned about this transit before. And it's very rare, but I don't
Mhm.
know, I think it could be very useful to do that introspective with that transit.
Yeah, this would be a good week for that kind of self reflection. And with everybody kind of in this mindset of preparing for new projects and new endeavors, like I think not letting this voice hold you back from
Hmm.
still planning, if even if you're like, I'm not sure if this is a good idea, these conversations are going to be really essential so that you can continue to prepare for the bigger things coming your way this
Mm-hmm.
year. Like it's going to be really important to take the self-reflection time. um and I think it's just really important during Pisces season to always be self-reflecting or take this time to actually turn inward, turn
Mm-hmm.
off your devices, whatever, sit down with your journal and
Right.
actually look inward. Take the time to introspect, and you will come out of Pisces season better prepared for the year ahead. This week, examining your self-doubts and where you question yourself would probably be a good way to continue that introspection.
Mm-hmm. And like if you are getting a lot of hesitation with like posting something, for example, or sharing
Hmm.
something, just draft it.
Yep.
keep it
Draft
in the
it.
drafts. Keep it on a Google Doc or whatever that version, whatever version of that is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, or like if you're thinking of a lifestyle change, like make a folder with a bunch of like inspiration, or like a Google Doc with a bunch of YouTube links of videos about it. Like keep doing the research
Yes.
and like reflecting on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then start it when you're feeling ready. But the thing is like there's going to be a lot of energy that is telling you that you're ready. So
Yes.
just like focus more on that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think it'll be really good. And once we transition into Aries season, it's going to be even more supported to go on with those projects without that hesitation. Because Aries is
Absolutely.
quite is not hesitant.
No way.
Yeah, almost impulsive, but
Yes.
in a beneficial way, if you want to make it so.
Right.
So that's it for that. And then the other things that are happening this week that I wanted to point out is that on the 16th, which is Saturday?
Thursday?
Thursday. Wow. Okay.
Saturday?
Whoopsies.
Thursday, yes.
Thursday. Thursday, Venus enters Taurus. Wonderful.
Yay!
That's gonna be so nice. Venus rules Taurus,
So
which
excited.
I there's something I mean, maybe I think both of us have a bias towards Taurus.
I think we might.
I don't know how, but both of us really love Taurus.
We do.
And my Taurus moon is one of my favorite placements, to be honest. I just think it really is grounding for me for the rest of my chart.
Right.
And I mean, despite all of my like insecurities that are based on my chart or just based on my upbringing, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
My Taurus moon really brings me back to take care of myself and like have just like the most nurturing attitude for myself.
Yes. The way I was talking about a Taurus this week in the other project that came out this week.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Tauruses are selfish. I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean they care about themselves. They care about the way they feel in their homes, in their lives. They care about themselves. They are the royalty of self-care. Like they just love to take care, to be about the self. And I think it's really important. And a Taurus and Venus, or Venus and Taurus, is a great time to remember this, that like you are your own only vessel. There is no other, you know? And at the end of the day, you are all you have. So if you don't take care of you, you will be lost. Like,
right.
This is a great time to turn inward with all of these like really stressful, honestly, things transits happening that are affecting us, making us grouchy and sad and like pushing us outside of our wheelhouses, outside of our comfort zones. This Venus and Taurus time at the end of this week will be a great time to plan some self-care. Okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Set yourself up for some delightful self-care. Order yourself a nice meal this weekend. Take a
Bubble
bath. If you don't have a bath, take a shower. Get yourself a little shower steamer. You know, like
I love a shower.
buy yourself
steamer.
some flowers this weekend. Do that face mask that's been sitting in your drawer or in the back of your cabinet for a month.
Call out to me.
That sheet mask you've been keeping in your drawer or in your makeup vanity that you're like, oh, I'll do that. Do it.
Do
now. It's
perhaps
time.
Some yoga, some stretches.
Lovely yoga. Take care of your physical form, but in like a soft way, a gentle way, a luxurious way. You don't need to run a mile. Just move your body in a way that feels good. Go dance. You know?
Dance.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the time.
I just something about Venus being Taurus's ruler is just so, it just tickles me. It tickles me because
so
Venus, I mean, people really focus on Venus being about like like this feminine role in a relationship. You
Uh,
know, which is
mm-hmm,
fine. That's fine. That is like an
mm-hmm.
aspect of it for sure.
Right.
But it's just so nice that Taurus is very, it's very self-sufficient.
Mm-hmm.
It's
So
very,
independent.
yeah, yeah. So I just think it's a very refreshing take on Venus,
Yes.
which is not only about relationships, even it's about your
Right.
finances, it's about your security in your feminine side, or you're more nurturing, or more material side. Like
Yes.
not necessarily your actions,
Mm-hmm.
your outward actions, but very much like your comfort.
Yes.
Um and I don't know, I just fucking love it, bro.
It's so good. It truly is like the opposite. So I have a lot of Libra placements, which is also ruled by
Yes.
Venus, but that placement is so different from Taurus because Libra can
Yes.
be a little bit codependent, like definitely
Right.
loves a relationship, where Taurus is like, I don't need anybody else. I don't actually care about anyone else. I care about me.
Yeah.
Which is great. I really love that about Tauruses and I really respect it. And I think, again, I said this week already, but it's just a reminder if you have a really lovely Taurus friend in your life, it's just a reminder that like you need to take care of you as well. They're going to
Mhm.
take care of them,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
even if like it means that they're not always available to you. A Taurus will
Right.
take care of themselves first.
Oh, I love a canceled plan. Oh, I
Right.
love. I just
Tauruses take
had
care of themselves first.
I just had friends cancel a plan that I initiated. But I was kind of like going through this week, and I was like, oh, it's going to be so tiring. I really need to like mentally, physically prepare for our plans, which were supposed to be on Sunday, which would have been really fun. And I was like, hey, like I'm just going to have a fun, tiring time. Like it'll be
Right.
fine. I'll recover.
Hmm.
But when friends were also like, I'm also tired and stressed, and it would be better for me to postpone, and I was like, oh my god, this is literally the best feeling
Right.
ever. Yeah, and what you're saying about Libra is like so on point. And just like think of, I mean, these are two signs that are ruled by the same planet.
Yes.
And think of like how much courage for a Libra who is very, I mean, very catering to people, which is a
Yes.
very beautiful thing. And
Hmm.
like the thing is that people tend to take advantage of that. And
Right.
consider how like how much courage it takes for a Libra to be like, no, I'm gonna take care of me. You
Yes.
know?
Ooh,
That
from
courage,
experience. Mm.
yes,
Yes.
exactly. That courage is
Hmm.
like a very Taurus
Yes.
energy of like, I am being audacious to take care of myself.
Yes. It is a little bit of an act of defiance for a Taurus to take care
Absolutely.
of themselves, and they do it at every chance they get. Every
Yeah.
chance.
Yeah.
They love it. They relish taking
And
the
the thing is,
opportunity to take care of
if
themselves.
a Taurus is taking care of you, you will
Yeah,
get the same treatment.
absolutely.
But it is I think it takes a lot of, in the same way, in like the same way that a Libra will cater to people almost so easily.
Hmm.
It takes a lot of courage for a Taurus to let someone in and be like, I will let you into this luxury as well.
Right.
And like, so if someone has a Taurus Venus, if your partner has a Taurus Venus,
Oh.
first of all, we don't have to get explicit about about that. But that is just such a good I wish
Yeah,
I had a
it's a
Taurus Venus.
great placement.
That
Oh
is
my
such a nice
god.
placement. So I just think it'll be a lovely time. Venus doesn't stay in a sign for very long.
Right.
So really reflect on, that kind of transit and how you can relate that to you taking care of yourself,
Yes.
and also, your comfort and your boundaries with your partner, if that is relatable to you,
Hmm.
as well as your finances, your material gains. Don't spend so wildly, but also treat yourself if you can afford it, and if it is
Yes.
comfortable to you, if it's something that will make you happy,
Hmm.
know that that is a priority as well,
Yes.
and that you can spend on that without feeling too guilty.
Hmm.
um so that'll be a lovely, lovely time. I'm looking forward to that.
Me too. I think it's the nourishing like transit we need kind of at the end of this week. I feel like everybody's going to be even more strung out
Yeah.
than we already are. So I think it will be a really nice placement to have at the end of the week. Just a reminder to take care of yourself, treat yourself to a little something if you can afford it responsibly, and reflect on. I think it will also be a good time to reflect on how you have been taking care of yourself and how you would
Mm-hmm.
like to adjust taking care of yourself going forward, with it, like in combination with all of the other placements and transits we've got going on. Just taking a moment to remind yourself that, okay, I haven't been taking care of myself properly. I actually should probably prioritize myself a little bit more going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Schedule out, if you like schedules, an hour on Saturday afternoon or evening to just take care of yourself, be with
Mm-hmm.
yourself, something that you can kind of take into the rest of the year.
Yeah. Like, definitely all the other transits, and even just Pisces season in general, is
Yes.
probably pointing out what we would like to do for our health, mental
Mm-hmm.
health, physical health, whatever it is. So using Taurus, this Venus Taurus, to kind of emphasize that will also be really nice.
Yes, for sure.
Um, and then speaking of strung out, Mercury will leave Pisces, and move into Aries on the 18th. So, I mean, Venus will leave Aries, which
The
probably
18th is
has been
next Saturday.
probably been behind our agitated attitudes this week.
Mm-hmm.
But like it going into Mercury, I don't know, that might continue. But
Yeah.
I do think it'll make us bolder in what we say. So
Yes.
less passive aggressive, more
More aggressive.
I was gonna say assertive, like
Sure. Yes.
whatever,
That too.
word choices.
That too.
Semantics. But I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I mean, Mercury and Pisces, I know we talked about it, how it would be refreshing compared to Mercury being an Aquarius.
Right.
But it has definitely made it difficult
Yes.
to communicate. Very emotional.
It has.
I
Everybody's
don't think technology
been emotionally on 10.
Technology has been like, oh, we've actually thrown everything into the ocean by accident. Nothing's working.
Yes.
People do not know how to make appointments or be on time.
Right.
For anything.
Oh, it's
Me
hard.
being a Pisces, I know how to navigate this like cloudy, murky water, and I'm
Right.
like, okay, I still need to get to this appointment at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
But like everyone being on that is just
It's hard.
not good. And then I'm in charge of plans. I hate being in charge of plans. You know this.
Yes.
I hate having to decide. Period. That's the end of the sentence.
Right. I hate having to decide.
Like, can you drive us, and can you take us, and can you decide where to eat, and can you decide when we go? Can you tell me what time we have to go, and tell me who I need to Venmo? I don't want to be responsible for any of this. But that's kind of how everyone's been.
Right.
So not the best. So certainly Mercury entering Aries might make those sort of communication and technology related things go. Like,
they'll go.
Just go forward.
Oh, they'll go.
They will go.
You're gonna need to think before you speak. Coming up
if
here. If you can manage it.
I mean, sure.
Take a second. Just think about what you're gonna say.
And
before
like,
you
if
actually
you say
it.
something without thinking, like, oh, but you say the N-word all the time when you're singing songs. Just apologize after. I don't know. I wasn't gonna, but
I don't think you need to apologize for that.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna apologize.
If you say something before you think about it, I think if it
you
was
give
something,
like can I just say something? Can I just say something? And then you say the really problematic thing.
Yeah, then
it's fine because you asked and no one said no.
But also, if you're gonna say things that are problematic, we're gonna need to have a chat.
Well, yeah. Can I say something a little out of pocket?
No. Don't say the out of pocket thing, please.
Well, no one's gonna say that, and then I'm gonna say the out of pocket thing. And then everyone's gonna be like, we're shocked. And I said I was gonna say something out of pocket. I don't know what you want me to do. I feel like that's going to be the vibe of Aries season. So if you're
God.
sensitive,
Gird
just
your loins, dude.
go. That's quite a phrase.
Gird your loins.
Yeah, I like it. Oh my god.
Yeah, if you're a little bit more sensitive,
To
it's
words.
okay to be sensitive. It really and truly is.
Yes. I'm
But
so sensitive.
right, but I think like you're gonna need to be maybe more aware. I don't know is the
Yeah.
way to put it. That like
You don't
people
need
are
to be
not gonna
less sensitive.
mean to hurt your feelings, but it's going to
Yeah, I
happen.
don't like telling people to not be sensitive.
No, I
Like
think there's
feel your
value in
feelings,
sensitivity.
but don't let it paint the whole experience or the whole person or the whole group of people, whatever it is.
Right.
Like it's not the time to do that. People are just going to be saying whatever. So it's not going to be a great time to make those judgments. It really never is a good time to lump people together like that,
Right.
but if it happens, just take some time. I mean, it's really a good time to just be alone and not talk to anyone if you
Right
can.
now. And Mercury in Aries is going to be a really big I need to
Yeah.
just go home.
I
Like,
need to leave.
you might need to not
Yeah.
interact, not talk to anyone else, and that is a-okay.
Yeah, but if you have to, just be careful.
Yep.
Yeah, and remember to go when you leave. Remember to leave when you go. I don't remember how it goes.
One
Do you
of
remember
those.
that Drake music video?
No,
And remember to go when you leave.
I don't remember this.
Okay, I'll send it to you later. If you know, you know. Or unless I'm butchering it, then you're like, I don't know what Sam's talking about. It's fine. I don't either.
Remember to leave when you go. But I think that's actually like, as
good
maybe
sound advice.
facetious. It actually kind of is. As facetious as it might sound or like nonsensical, like don't take this shit home with you.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to leave it there.
Exactly.
Because
Jordan, you get me.
I do. I get you. I get what you're trying to say. I get what I get what Aubrey was trying to say, okay?
Well, Aubrey wasn't saying it. It was
okay. That makes more sense then.
It was the mother of the girl he was trying to like hook up with or something. Mm-hmm. She was like, "Get out of here!" And he's like, "Oh, I just dropped my contact." It was. I can't believe you don't know what I'm talking about.
Is this what is that video that
I don't remember what it's called.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
I'm not gonna link it in the description.
No, we're not linking this.
Fuck this.
Just remember to leave that shit there. Don't
remember to leave when you go.
Yeah, don't take it with you because oh god, if you take it with you, it will ruin your whole day, your whole week. Oh god. And it's this is easier said than done, but this is definitely something that I've worked on for a long time, like leaving that shit at the door. Don't bring your attitude home to someone who doesn't deserve it, there's a big problem with that with a lot of people. I think they can't leave their shit at the door and they take it out on their partners or their family, and it really fucking sucks, and it's really hard to deal with. So at least like if you feel like you're gonna snap at somebody, you need to be honest about it and talk to them. This is not the time to like hold back. Like if you're feeling distraught and upset and you feel like you're gonna have a bad time interacting, you just need to be straight up and be like, I'm actually in a really terrible mood. I am apologizing in advance for the way I speak to you, and I'm really trying my hardest to not be upset at you because you have not done anything.
Right.
So just being really frank and honest about these big emotions.
That is really important.
It's really important
to do.
It's important for everyone, not even just during this time, but all the time. Especially if you're someone who's a little extra sensitive, just be like, I had a really bad day and
I literally told you earlier, I was like, I was bothered by this thing that this person said to you. Mm-hmm. It had nothing to do with me. Right. And you weren't upset. And then I was upset for hours about it and you had no idea.
Yeah. Not a clue.
Yeah. And it was fully like just the principle of it, which I think we've been talking about a lot. It was like the principle of the thing.
Yeah.
It was in protection of you.
Right.
Even though you had no idea and were not affected at all.
In the least upset about this thing.
Yeah. And I mean I feel like that really relates. Like Aries and Taurus are just extremely protective, and they're quick
Yes.
to anger.
Yes.
So, I mean, as bold and like assertive and very self-centered in a good way,
Mhm.
self-sufficient,
Yes.
as these placements are, that will kind of pull us out of this kind of dreamy and like abstract and melancholic time that we're having in Pisces with all of these placements and transits. We have to be careful of swinging the other way, if that
Yes.
makes sense.
For sure.
So, yeah, I mean, overall, I think it'll be a good week. It'll be refreshing. We'll see how it goes.
I know.
We'll let you know how it goes.
We'll talk
And
about
hopefully
it.
I don't fight someone.
Hopefully we're not arguing with everyone by the end of the week.
Yeah, we'll see.
I need everyone to just like back off, like chill out. I'm not in the mood to fight with you.
But yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
I think that's all I got. That's all I got for the astrology.
Amazing.
If anything else is happening, I can't focus on that right now.
Pretty concise.
Okay?
Oh, and the reason we talked about this this Mercury Aries transit, even though it's on the 18th, which technically would fall under next week's episode jurisdiction, is just that like we're gonna start to feel it.
Oh yeah.
Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Right. It's already, we're feeling this like my communication's a bit more aggressive. My feelings are hurt a little bit more. It's already kind of in a shadow period, so we're ready.
Absolutely. Mercury moves so fast.
Right.
And you're right about the shadow period. Like, it's a real thing. So, yeah, you're right. We got to prepare for Mercury before it comes, because it comes swinging like a softball to your face.
Yeah, and I think if you're really underprepared for how Mercury Aries is going to make you feel, you'll be in trouble quickly with everyone. So
I'm pretty, don't quote me on this, I'll have to look. Mercury retrograde isn't until April.
Correct. We have looked this up before.
Yeah.
It's like the 21st.
But I don't know, that might be happening in Aries. I might be wrong. Don't quote me.
Soon.
It's coming soon. We got to start preparing now. 1 month ahead. Yeah.
Oh God. All right.
But yeah, like we'll see. We'll see what the sky does, I guess.
Woo!
All right. What have you been watching and listening to this week?
I have been watching One Tree Hill.
Incredible.
I know, of all things. This is not just this week. I'm doing I've never seen it, but one of mine and Sam's mutual friends is hosting a One Tree Hill kind of rewatch party every week.
Have they watched it? Did they watch it back in the day?
Yes, yeah, okay. They've both watched the show before, like when it aired.
Right.
But I had never seen it because I wasn't interested in this kind of television. I was watching anime like a cultured person.
I know. I mean, I wasn't invested watching it, but I definitely watched it with my sisters.
Right.
I should not have been. Far too young and like...
Right. Like, I've never seen this show before, but it was filmed in a town I'm very familiar with. And I've heard a lot about it because of the town.
Right.
And having lived there for some time, like, it's really cool to watch it and like see the places that I recognize and stuff. Like, that's cool. But I'm watching this show and I'm like, this is not realistic. Number one.
No, it's
number
absurd.
2. What is this fashion? 2004, 2005 was a bizarre time for fashion. The best that we could. Truly horrible. Truly horrible. We did do
all
the best
the belts in the world.
The belts, the unbearable need to wear jeans and flip-flops. But like gross flip-flops, gross man feet. Can't deal with it. I hate every second of the fashion.
The rainbow flip-flops.
Stop. We're not talking about it.
Just permanently stained with your footprint.
Yep. We're not talking about it. It's awful.
Oh my God.
And like
the polos? Are there polos?
There's so many polos.
Are polos involved?
Oh my God,
polos
it's
with
awful.
a shirt underneath.
Yeah. It's terrible.
The
So
layering.
not only like, so like visually an assault on my eyeballs, but what is really interesting about the show for me is that the dad of the two main male characters,
Uh-huh.
Dan,
Uh-huh.
is triggering me like nothing else. His emotional manipulation reminds me of
Oh.
my ex and like genuinely triggers me. I'm not even kidding.
The gas by Gus.
I'm like actually a little bit triggered watching it.
Oh
Um
no.
and it's a little hard because I'm like, I recognize this. This was my
Oh
life.
no. Oh
You
no,
know,
Jordan.
it's actually really
No.
hard. Harder than I didn't expect it. Again, because I've never seen this show, but I was
Right.
like, oh no, I don't know how much of this I can take. So I've had to kind of push past that
Yeah.
feeling to be able to enjoy it.
I mean, take it as a lesson, I suppose. You
Exactly,
know?
exactly. It's a big lesson that I'm like, I see it and I hate it, and that's what he did to me.
Mm.
And like recognizing that and coming to terms with it,
Uh-huh.
it's a really weird and very hard. Um, but and then I'm watching it and I'm like, the choices that these children make is just so horrific. Like oh god, it's definitely entertaining, don't get me
It's so
wrong.
dramatic, yeah.
I'm enjoying the drama, but I'm also like, these children are 16 and now this one girl is hired as the manager of this club, the
Oh yeah,
talent
yeah, yeah, yeah,
acquisition of
yeah.
this
Oh my
club
god.
that
Oh my
opened
god.
in
You're talking
seemingly
about
3
it?
weeks.
You talking Oh my god, you talking about it is like driving me nuts. I'm like, oh my god.
Right. It's like, you're
We used to be so
16.
invested.
Yeah. Like, you're 16. There's no way you would be in charge of this. You help, I'm sure, because this is like her whole shtick. This is Peyton's whole
Well,
shtick.
manager, I mean, like rich kids, it's like, oh, I'm giving you this title, you
She's not
know?
even like rich in this though. Or she's just, seemingly normal, and then has this ridiculous role that you would never give a teenager at a brand new club. And like, I'm like, these parents are
Oh
bad.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I like Karen, who's Lucas's mom, is mostly fine, and then she does shit and I'm like, what are you doing, Karen?
Oh, a
what is
question
happening?
I have multiple times for multiple people.
I know. It's so wild to watch, and I get like a little frazzled sometimes watching this show. But
Well,
overall,
okay.
I'm enjoying the throwback vibes because I've never seen this
Yeah.
show. It's my first time. The
It was
drama is
such a
high.
it's such an era of like reality TV where like I think we convince ourselves like, oh, we're watching this to feel better about us because we're not trash like this.
Yeah, but this is
But
scripted. This
I
is a
mean, yeah.
television show.
I mean, yes,
But the
Jordan. But
vibes were
like
similar.
that's how we talked about watching the Kardashians
Oh, yeah, you're right.
way back in the day.
Yeah.
And like it's become so much more unbearable
Yes.
to watch. But at the time we were like,
I respect
oh,
people
these
who like watching the Kardashians. This is not a dig if you enjoy it, because
well
there is like a weird satisfaction in watching them be awful.
well, the thing is that there was a shift because I feel like when I was watching that with my sisters, we were
Mhm.
watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians. It was before they were as big as they are now.
Mhm.
And like it was like a collective, we don't respect these people. Like we all think that they're kind of trash and
Mhm.
act like really privileged and it's annoying.
Right.
But then the shift happened where like, oh no, we think everything they do is cool and we want to follow
Oh.
it.
Right.
So then it became, I don't know, just like really toxic.
It is
but like
toxic.
before, and I don't really have like a year range
Mhm.
for this, but definitely when One Tree Hill was on, it was kind of like a, oh, well, we don't relate to these people and we know that what they're acting like is trash.
Mhm.
But now for some reason, I don't know if it's like influencer culture or whatever it is,
Right.
like plenty of people still feel this way about really rich, privileged celebrity or whatever, famous people.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like now there's a whole generation of like young people who are literally being influenced by that and they're like, oh, I want that lifestyle.
Mhm.
It's like such a weird weird shift, I
Yes,
think. And I
very
mean, maybe
much.
it's not as much of a shift as I think, and it's just like me being a fucking boomer and thinking that young kids are more influenced than we were when we were younger,
I
but
mean, it's just more pervasive, so how could they not
yeah.
be, more or less more influenced? But
Right.
I don't know.
But
Oh,
yeah,
it's a
that
lot.
that was an interesting time for TV to say
Yeah.
the least.
One Tree
I
Hill has been
remember
keeping me going.
I used to watch, is it Brooke Hogan? I used to watch that reality show. Hulk Hogan's daughter
Yeah.
had a reality show.
Yes, I remember that.
I used to be obsessed.
Oh
Um,
God.
we used to watch Jersey Shore.
No, dude. I'm
I
glad I missed this
know.
era of
It was
reality
so
television,
bad. Well,
honestly. I
because
was
you were
not
the
into it.
oldest child, so like you didn't
Yeah.
have older sisters watching this.
Right.
Or older siblings, I
And your
guess.
older siblings were teenagers, so it's like
Yeah, yeah. So they were
this
definitely
was
like watching it.
their shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's not like they would sit with me and watch it all the time, but like
Yeah.
if we were hanging out, that's what was on. That's what
Right.
was on while I was doing my fucking math homework or whatever.
Right, exactly.
Whatever it was. And yeah, I mean, I just remember, I don't know, that was such a weird time. I would never want to watch those kinds of shows. I mean, to
Mhm.
watch it with friends, like what you're talking about in
Mhm.
like Discord, that sounds hilarious. But like to actually, if there was this kind of media, and there
Mhm.
is this kind of like reality shows with influencers now that I don't know who they are.
Right.
But like I would not be interested in that at all.
It's so interesting. I don't know if I wouldn't be interested. I just think like people who are too rich at weird times in their lives are very interesting. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. But I can watch Korean idols for that. Cuz
Wow.
they're not intolerable like this. Well, I mean that's not true. Some of them are.
Wow.
Some of them are. But like,
Oh
I
my
don't know.
god.
Whatever.
Yeah.
When I
It's
started
all
watching like
opinion.
Korean reality shows, I was like, these are so funny and cool and have like interesting concepts instead of just
Mhm.
like rich, annoying people. But there is that kind of reality show in Korea. I just haven't watched those, but I know
Right.
they exist.
There's just a little bit
There's
more
like
variety in reality shows.
definitely, definitely. But I know that there is a show in Korea. I forgot what it's called now, but they literally link up like exes
Oh.
in a house together, and
Oh
then they're
no.
like dating each other, other people, and like getting
Oh
jealous.
my god.
The drama.
No, thank you.
And Kai's obsessed with it. Kai's obsessed with it. I
Of
remember
course
he
he
was talking
is.
about it. Like other, they were all talking. EXO members were talking,
Mhm.
and someone was like, "What is the hype? Like, why would you want to watch people go through this?" And Kai was like, "You don't understand." Watch until episode 5 and you'll get it, or
Oh
something
my
like that. It
god.
was so funny.
Wow.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's just so funny to me.
Yeah.
Reality shows. I just like if I started watching something like that and got sucked in, I just would never do anything again.
High drama, early aughts television and
Yeah.
reality shows. I don't watch any reality shows though. I have been spared. I
I know. Do you watch
just
any like Housewives?
no, 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 no. I don't
I don't
watch
think
any
I can handle. I
housewives.
don't think I can handle that.
That's not for me, and I'm okay with that. I can watch the odd episode here and there, like if I'm hanging out with someone who wants to watch it, and it's fine,
Mm,
but it's definitely not my favorite.
right.
I don't seek it out. I don't watch it on my own. No, but One Tree Hill has been really enjoyable to watch. It's
Maybe I'll watch it.
uh
Just for the
it's just
vibes.
like, yeah, it's just the vibes. It's keeping me like, I don't know, it's something to look forward to during the week if I don't have anything
Definitely.
else going on, which I don't usually, and I'm just enjoying like hanging out with them and talking about it and experiencing it for the first time. It's kind of
Yeah,
fun.
that's funny. Yeah,
What
that's
about
nice.
you? What have you been listening to, watching,
Oh,
whatever?
I listened to so much music today.
Today alone.
Today, Friday. I mean, I've been listening to music, but I listened to a lot of new stuff today. Some stuff was released. Um, so interestingly, all female singers or female led
Hell yeah.
groups.
Happy Women's
Um,
History Month, bitches.
yes. But I guess I'll start with Miley Cyrus released an album today. I did
Mhm.
not really expect to like listen to it on its release. But one of my friends here is like a stan.
Mhm.
So yesterday she was like, "Oh my god, at 1 a.m. this album drops. And I was like, oh, that's right. And I mean, I liked her little single. I thought it was cute.
What was it called?
I
Like
just
Flowers?
Flowers.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was really cute. Everyone was like, why does this sound so familiar and fun? And I was like, oh, isn't it sampling I Will Survive? But I don't think
Mm-hmm.
it's actually sampling it. I think it just sounds like it
It's
does.
similar. It's not
Yeah.
sampling it, but it is a
Yeah.
similar
But I fully, when I think
rhythm.
of it in my head, there is the sample there. So I'm like
Mm-hmm.
remixing in my brain.
Right.
But it's not. But I said that and people believed me.
Oh my
Oops.
god.
Just spreading misinformation.
Wow.
But I think it's a really cute album. I mean, I know for whatever we can say about Miley Cyrus and
Mm-hmm.
like her many eras
Yes.
in music and appropriation, etc., etc. Like it's undeniable she's super talented.
Right.
And I just think this is a really nice body of work. I think it's an interesting um like story.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell the first part of the album, it's a full album, and the first half is definitely about like experiencing a heartbreak. Like it
Mm-hmm.
starts with Flowers, which is it's a very like an empowering song after a
Mm-hmm.
breakup. But the songs following after that are a little bit like processing the breakup in other ways, like being very nostalgic and sad,
Mm-hmm.
or being really angry about it. And then in the middle of the album, because like it's kind of in the same funky alternative rock pop style.
Mm-hmm.
And then the middle of the album has this really weird song. Wait, I'm blanking on what it's called now. Let me just look it up really quick. It's her album's called Endless Summer Vacation,
Mm-hmm.
and in the middle there's a song called Handstand. Okay, and it's like this really it almost is like early 2000s or like 2010s electronica.
Whoa.
Okay, which sounds really bizarre, but it was really cool,
Mm-hmm.
really experimental. And she's doing this like weird spoken word thing at the beginning, and I'm like, what are you talking about? What is this? This is very bizarre and very different
Mm-hmm.
from the beginning of the album. And then she goes into this like, it sounds very Gorillaz-y, like the
Oh.
Gorillas, and
Yeah.
it was going so hard. I was like, you need to do this. Whatever this is sounds amazing. And
Mm-hmm.
then when she comes back to sing, I'm like, this sounds so cool. And I was jamming out to that. I think that's my favorite song, and it's like definitely the weirdest one. And then after that, for a couple songs, she's kind of in that electronica dance EDM style, and it's so cool. And it kind of like, the song kind of progresses of like heartbreak and then kind of like enjoying a rebound.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's definitely very like sexual in her lyrics sometimes, so like there's that aspect of as well.
Right.
And then kind of coming back, and I mean the album's called Endless Summer Vacation, and I read that sort of concept is about like, oh, I kind of convinced myself that I'm on my own and I'm in my like own paradise. And then I
Mm-hmm.
kind of realized that all I'm doing is kind of escaping reality and I'm just alone here,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
which is so
Oh.
Pisces.
Yeah.
Like the whole escapist reality thing and like
Right.
convincing yourself you're fine when you really haven't processed your hurt.
Right.
So I just thought it was like a really beautiful album. Would definitely recommend checking it out. I mean, she has so many variety of sounds in it.
Mm-hmm.
She's really talented. I don't know. I really liked it. I wasn't expecting to like it so much. I've never been like a Miley Cyrus stan.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always appreciated that she's like a great performer. She's a great like songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think it's a good one. Released today.
Very
And
good.
already has so many listens on Spotify.
Of course it
like,
does.
yeah, absolutely going viral. So that was released today. Also released today was Twice dropped their mini album. It's called Ready to Be, and they had like a really empowering song that made the misogynist of Korea sick to their stomach. I saw a Twitter buzz that they were upset. I mean, they always are, to be honest, when stuff like this happens.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, here's the thing: Twice has never been a group that I stand. They like have a very or have usually had like a very feminine, girly, like innocent love song pop vibe, bubblegum pop.
Right.
And I've always appreciated it. Like they're bangers, like they get stuck in your head. They're very viral. But they've never been like songs that I just like would listen to. But this like is really, really different. Their song is called "Set Me Free." They performed on Jimmy Fallon.
Oh.
Like they're doing the things. They're expanding, kind of like moving into the Western promotional side of it, I guess. But still doing their songs in Korean, although I think they have an English version. I just haven't listened to it yet. So that's been really cool. They were at the like Billboard Women in Music Awards. I guess it's an award ceremony or a concert. And they won the Breakthrough Award, which is really cool. I mean, really cool for a K-pop group to receive. So
yeah,
super proud of them. Their mini album's really cute. So yeah, that was also one. Again, so much music. I listened to Thuy, which is someone that you've recommended to me before, a Vietnamese American like R&B pop singer. Her album Girls Like Me Don't Cry. I guess it's like an EP actually.
Right.
All the songs are really good, really cute. Just like a nice feminine vibe. I looked up her sign. Do you know what her sign is?
No, I don't.
Do you have a guess? You gotta guess.
Is she a Sag?
Ooh.
I actually would guess that she's a Sag, but
you're close. She's a Scorpio.
Oh, of course she is.
She's a Scorpio, bro. Like,
of course
listen to the songs.
Yeah,
listen to this album. You will see why she's a Scorpio. Okay, next album. Raja Kumari, my queen. My queen. She hasn't released a new album. She released a new single today, but it made me re-listen to her album called HBIC, which was her first independent record. She was previously at Epic Records, but left, I think because she was too good for them. I don't know.
Yes, correct.
She kind of references that she wanted to be very like real and authentic and like mix South Asian sound with pop music, and she did that. She had an album with them and did all of those things, but they probably weren't supporting her or promoting her as much.
Right.
So she went independent last year, made her own record label, and she's still doing the things. I think she's touring and hustling so hard that so she can do that. So I just wanted to like listen to the album again. It's like all super empowering and really, really, really good.
Yes.
And then finally, last album, I know, out of the 5, is Tank and the Bangas.
Yes.
Released an EP called Pretty Poems, based on their song DM Pretty, which if you have heard the viral TikTok sound of Tank, who's the lead singer, being like, "This boy in my DM say I'm pretty." I wanted to talk about that, and I will link the TikTok in the description of this episode, because it was pointed out to me. First of all, I didn't realize that sound was from them at first, because I just saw it on like Instagram or TikTok.
Right.
And like usually the sound has been used for girls like putting on makeup or whatever, like changing their look. And someone on TikTok who's like a literature major, because Tank is actually a poet, so all of their songs are like a mixture of spoken word and singing. So good. If you must check them out, and their Tiny Desk is so good. It's from like many years ago, pre-pandemic, but that's a really good one. But you know, this literature major on TikTok pointed out that the whole point of DM Pretty, which is the first song on this EP, is that Tank is saying like a boy only calls her pretty in her DMs.
Yes, indeed.
And not, you know, isn't bold enough to say it in real life.
Yes.
And I can actually quote part of her poem. He told me what he couldn't say in the AM, as if telling a black girl that she is beautiful and sexy can only be done in the PM. Woo! When it's dark and it's night and no one knows. Yo,
Give it the
goes
fuck
hard
up,
as
dude.
fuck. And I mean, essentially, the song ends. It's very short. It ends with her being like, "I don't need you to tell me I'm pretty. I know I'm the shit."
I know.
So it's empowering. But like this person on TikTok was pointing out is like, you're using this for your thirst traps essentially,
Yeah.
and not even realizing that the whole point is like this thing that like dark skinned women suffer with, where like people aren't able to boldly just admit that they're beautiful.
They refuse to do so.
Right?
Because
so it's
who
kind
knows?
of now like I have like a sour taste in my mouth when I see that sound. Thankfully, I think it's filtering out.
Right.
Like it's not, it's fizzling out, I should say. But yeah, like when you see the like origin of things, it's kind of like, wow.
Yeah.
Like good for them, that for going viral. I hope that this EP gets a lot of attention, that people like listen to the original song or like read the original poem.
Yeah, there's a song on the album that already has over 5 million plays, almost 6 million.
Yes. Yeah,
So
I
they
think they're
deserve
gonna do
it.
really well.
They deserve all
the
the
song
success.
Black Folk on that album is so good.
Masego's on like all of my favorite songs right now.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh man. Here's the thing. I knew what that sound was about from jump, right? Like
exactly, because you can tell. It's just like
what it's about.
Yeah, and I was kind of like, oh, well, that's weird. Why are people just like putting on a dress to this?
Right. Right.
But I didn't really think much of it, and then this TikTok pointed it out so like clearly and perfectly, and like referenced the like actual live performance of this.
Right.
And I was like, oh man, yeah, that tracks. But yeah, good. I found that so relatable, because I had so many experiences of the same bullshit.
Yep, you can tell me basically. I'm pretty everywhere, but around your friends, around or our people.
Friends. Ooh,
wow,
wow. Oh, my trauma. Okay, let's just put it out there. And like when I tell people about that, they'll be like, "That doesn't even make sense. That you're pretty. Like, why would someone not tell you?"
It's like, oh, okay, you're classically pretty. I can tell.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God!
Don't even get me started.
Look, we get it. You and I,
and you who's listening.
You understand?
Well, maybe. Well, you get it.
Now you get it. You've been let in.
Us. We get it, and we got it, and now you get it. So you got it. You're welcome. But yes, God. If you want to listen to the lovely dulcet tones of Tank and the Bangas, I highly recommend. I think that must be my favorite one, for sure. Pretty poems. We'll link everything that we're talking about, that we're watching, that we're listening to in the description, so you can also enjoy.
Well, I think that's us done.
I think that's it. This week might be over now.
Now it can finally end. Let's done this.
Let's launch into this weekend.
We can let go of everything that happened this week.
God, and I don't have to go to that thing on Sunday.
Hell yeah.
I can sleep.
Rest well. All right?
Yes.
Rest up.
Well, it was fun.
Always a great time.
Yes. Love
Thanks
you.
for listening.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
If you want to ask us any questions about astrology, or how to call someone out for saying the N-word, or for vaping, or anything else, like if you just have any questions for us at all, you can tweet us at 2cupsbetween on Twitter. That's the number 2 cups between. Or if you want to send us something longer, you can email us at 2cupsbetween, the number 2 cupsbetween @gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and have a good rest of your week. I'm like, I thought we were just gonna whisper to them.
Scattered outro.
Thanks for listening. You'll fix it. You got it.
Oh my God.
I believe in you.
It's all on me.